Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Fellowship of Spirit Zoom meeting, July 25th, 2021, here in Farmington, New Mexico. And we are glad that you're with us this morning. We're small in numbers so far, but I think that probably more and more people will come. There are 6 of us here in the sanctuary and 5 of us on Zoom, but in the middle of summer, sometimes a lot of people are traveling, so we don't worry about our numbers. People will come in and out as they see fit. Anyway, we're really glad to be with you. We have an exciting program lined up for you today. Ian Glory is our main speaker, and he's going to be talking about Be Here Now. It's going to be a lot of good information that will benefit you and your life and make it much more richer and better, I'm sure. So,
Ron, we don't have a picture.
there's no, well, you should.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know what has happened. I'm plugged into the computer here. I don't know. Something got messed up over there, something. Oops. You following it?
Yeah.
Well, this is the HED
Yeah,
on my
this is,
cable.
yeah, this is the one.
Okay.
Now, okay, your Deveep.
We've got it now, Jerry.
You should have had it now. Maybe the connection wasn't good here.
Okay.
Okay, so we got it. So we're all connected again. We had to get our big screen television that's here in the auditorium hooked up so that we could see you and you could see us. So, good morning, Susan. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Ian. And Steve is here with us. So this is all good. People are moving around still.
Well, got things to do.
Okay.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay. I'm going to mute everyone to begin with. So if you're asked to speak or you want to speak, just unmute yourself and speak. So, okay. Oh, hi there. How are you? I'm glad to see you.
That's Ian's bio.
Okay.
I highlighted the parts that I think.
Yeah. Okay. We have an updated bio on Ian, so we'll be telling you about him here shortly. And so anyway, last week I want to thank the people who took over and ran the meeting with Jim and Steve and Jerry, who did an outstanding job of continuing our service. And I'm really glad that you were here. I was under the weather. I got new teeth, and so they pulled my other teeth, and my gums were real sore, and I could not speak, and I couldn't chew, and had to learn how to swallow and do everything again. But I am much better now, and I'm really glad that I did it. And it didn't last that long. Due to all the prayers and the people that I'm associated with, I healed really quickly. So, with no further ado, I'm going to ask Susan to give us an opening prayer.
Sorry. Okay, Creator, Mother, Father, God, we give thanks for this day and for all of the wisdom and the light that is being shared, for our ability to come together, no matter how close or how far we are, for we are all one. We give thanks for all the wonderful people and all the opportunities that we have to be spiritual lights to this world. And so it is.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Jerry, are there any announcements we need to make at the beginning of our service?
There is not a potluck on August
Okay, the potluck has been postponed until the first Sunday in September rather than,
We'd really like to get an idea of who might be coming, so we know how much, those of us that are bringing food know how much to bring. We don't
Okay,
know, but
yeah,
we're hoping for a good turnout.
okay. So we would like for you to communicate with us if you're going to be attending on September, first Sunday in September. I'm not sure what the date is yet, but that's when our first potluck will be to reintegrate us back into the face-to-face world. And so let us know so that we can plan our food accordingly. If you're going to be able to attend, just contact Jerry and either through email or a phone call or something. Let her know so that we can plan our business better and we can offer a much better experience.
It looks like September 5th.
It is September 5th is when we will be having our first potluck in the new world. So post-COVID.
It's actually Labor Day week,
Is it Labor Day weekend? Well, okay.
which I don't know if that's such a great idea.
I don't know whether it'll work out, and those that are here will enjoy it, and those who are not will miss it. So that's just the way it is.
Be here or be square.
There you go. All right. Our statement of faith that love produces a flow of energy that I now feel. I love others more than ever, and I feel privileged to be here. Love flows from one person to another as we create an atmosphere of holiness, and so it is. We try to create a sacred space where we can enter into into energy that is more conducive to a spiritual way of being. All right, our first song is in the book, number 309, Quiet Waters.
We need to.
And I will.
Thank you. Give us a little time to prep here.
That'll work. Let me see that.
And Ron, at some point, you need to show us how to show the words on the screen so that if you're not here, we can.
Okay, Steve, just,
Take care of that outside of me.
I know, that's what I'm saying, though, it's something you need to show us.
okay, I'll nod when it's time to start singing, okay?
Margaret,
Excuse me.
well, I'm not even speaking.
I'll nod. I'll nod when it's
It's
time for you to start singing.
Okay.
So introduce you and Margaret.
Yeah, hi. Quiet waters all around me, quiet thoughts prepare the way, quiet light aglow
All right, thank you, Steve. Okay, can everyone hear me again?
You're just not saying anything.
I'm not saying anything at this moment, but I will.
Okay.
And I never threaten. I might warn you, but I won't threaten, so, okay? Ian Glory is our main speaker today, and we've heard from him before. He lives in Belize and all that. Do we have a spiritual reading this morning?
Who is the spiritual leader?
Me, Carol.
Oh, okay. Well, go for it, Carol. You're not on my list here. So, Carol, yes, do the spiritual reading. Thank you, Bill, for reminding us.
Okay. I wanted to talk about, have you ever heard of the Three Sisters in planting?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. I didn't hear about it until just lately. Our daughter brought us a book, and it's called Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And she's a Native American from Wisconsin. And she's talks about plants. And in there is about the Three Sisters and how they plant them. First, you plant the corn. And then you wait 2 weeks. And then you plant the green bean next to it. The green bean will intertwine with the corn, and the blossoms will give out for pollination. And 2 weeks after that, you plant squash. And the squash, the big leaves will cover the ground and keep it moist. And these three work together to grow. And when the people from Europe came, they thought we were all stupid. What they doing? They can't plant this. So they finally found out that this was the best way. And there's a little story here, a little legend about it. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. The native people speak of this gardening style as the Three Sisters. There are many stories of how they came to be, but they all share the understanding of these plants as women, sisters. Some stories tell of a long winter when people were dropping from hunger. Three beautiful women came into their dwelling on a snowy night. One was a tall woman dressed in yellow with long flowing hair. The second wore green, and the third wore orange. The three came inside to the shelter and by the fire. Food was scarce, but the visiting strangers were fed generously. Sharing in the little food that the people had left, the Three Sisters had gratitude for their generosity. The Three Sisters reached into their identities, corn, beans, and squash, and gave themselves to the people in a bundle of seeds so that they may never go hungry again. So these three, they all work together. They all help each other. And I imagine they would plant a row with corn, beans, squash, all down. And then later I read, where is it? Let me find it. It's tempting to imagine that these three are deliberate and working together, and perhaps they are, but the beauty of the partnership of that plant does what it does in order to increase its own growth. But as it happens, when the individuals flourish, so does the whole. The way of the Three Sisters remind me of one of the basic teachings of our people. The most important thing each of us can know is our unique gift and how to use it in the world. Individually is cherished and nurtured, because in order for the whole to flourish, Each of us have to be strong in who we are and carry our gifts with conviction so they can be shared with others. Being among the sisters provides a visible manifestation of what a community can become when its members understand and share their gifts. In respiratory, we feel our spirits as well as our bellies. So it's amazing how these three plants work together. That the squash, it covers the ground and it keeps the ground moist, keeps the weeds out. The bean travels up the stalk of the corn, and the pollination will help the corn. So big sister, little sister, baby sister. That's it.
Thank you, Carol, and thank you. We really appreciate it. It was really good. Okay, now we're going to hear from Ian. Ian was born, Ian Alberto Glory Lizacarga. Carga is an only child, or so he thought. He was born in Mexico on February 19th, 1970. As an infant, Alberto moved to Corozal. Is that how you say that? Corozal? Belize? Corozal. At 12, he discovered a much bigger family. He met a dozen of his brothers and sisters, with still a dozen half to meet. He became a doctor to save lives, but his destiny was already written. Unfortunately, at the age of 17, Ian's parents became ill and he was forced to go to work in the family-owned supermarket to provide for them. Ian joined the Red Cross world at the age of 8 as a junior first aider. At 21, he became a first aid instructor. Regional intervention team member and a recognized instructor in Central America and the Caribbean. Ian worked along with the French Red Cross in the National Intervention Team training manuals. We're just very, very fortunate. I have a whole lot more to read. It's almost a book about Ian. He has accomplished many things in his life. He has an associate's degree in business and is an entrepreneur. And we are just really pleased. And would you please welcome Ian Glory, as he wants to be called.
Thank you.
Switch the screen.
I will, yes.
Okay, do I have the floor on?
There you go, you're on.
Thank you so much. Good morning, brothers and sisters in Christ, one and all. It's great for me to be back. I appreciate the opportunity. I really love to vent some of my ideas because sometimes one has all of these thoughts and has not much people that we can vent with or to. That's one of the reasons I appreciate Susan so much, because I tend to vent a lot with her. My work today is titled Being Here Now. This work is a compilation of works and opinions of various colleagues, and I begin by reciting the following. For evil to triumph, it is only necessary that good men do nothing. A cite by Edmund Burke. It's true. And we're going to talk this a little bit. Edmund Burke. I start this day with this phrase because our lack of action even comes sometimes just let it happen instead of being aged as worthy people. Analyze our commitments and take an action that makes us these age change. Because changes and promote something in which we can truly believe. Hopefully, today we will do it individually, and in a couple of days, we may be able to do.
Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. Ian, you got real spotty with your connection and then you went away. So if you could unmute again and
Okay.
there we go.
You
might try doing
Okay.
video off just the audio.
We-
I think that'd be-
something good as an individual. So
Yeah,
that in
Ian-
a couple of
Ian-
days, we can come together as leaders and allow us to show that we are united. Yes?
Yeah, I don't know. We're having a problem. Maybe if you could turn off your video and just give your talk so that we can hear you.
Sure,
We could try that.
sure. Okay.
Yes.
I believe there are two types of people. First, those who observe how things happen. They miss the opportunities as agents of change and often without realizing it. And then there are those who make things happen, being agents of change, influential in their environment, willing to leave a legacy, even against many adversities. In the world of opportunities, many complain that they have not had them, while others strive but to create them, not to wait for them. Let's do our best one day at a time. We live in a time where the intelligent have to keep quiet so that the ignorant do not feel offended. This is how authoritarian regimes begin. They systematically destroy liberal groups, humanist and democratic institutions, with the indifference of all. Until at the end, there is no one left to raise their voices for this reason, it is important that the voice of Freemasonry is heard as one alone. The voice of all responsible free persons are heard as one alone. The cry of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Let's see what is happening in our brother Caribbean country of Haiti. Let's take it as an example. Let's not wait for our beloved homeland to reach this point where citizens have no other option than to come to violence. This also arises another question. What is happening in countries like the Ivory Coast, Tasmania, Haiti, and others, and what do they have in common? Perhaps that their presidents have been assassinated, and that are these presidents who had declared that they would never allow their citizens to be vaccinated. Is this a conspiracy? Is this a coincidence? Is there such things as conspiracy and coincidences? Do you believe in coincidences? As many countries, Cuba, who has been in the news, are presently demanding their freedom. They place their cry for democracy and an end to the dictatorship, an end to corruption. They only claim what by nature belongs to them: the freedom of expression and freedom of free speech, a basic humanitarian right, and control of their today so that they have a decision in their tomorrow, a decision in their future, starting today. And since we are taking this moment to philosophize, a great thought that we can apply today. I have the privilege to share the following quote. Its name, Sealed Compartments. The best way to prepare for tomorrow is to concentrate with all your intelligence and enthusiasm. It is to do today's work superbly today. This is the only way you can prepare for the future. This was said by Sir William Osler. In the spring of 1871, a young man picked up a book and read 22 words that had a profound effect on his future. A medical student at Montreal General Hospital, he was worried about his final exams, that he should do, where he would go, how he would create a clientele, how he would make a living. The 22 words this young man and medical student read in 1871 helped him become the most famous physician of his generation. He organized the world's famous Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, became Regius Professor of Medicine at Oxford, which is the highest honor that can be bestowed on a physician in the British Empire. He was knighted by the King of England. When he died, it took 2 volumes with 1,466 pages to tell the story of his life. His name is Sir William Osler. Here are the 22 words he read in the spring of 1871. The 22 words of Thomas Carlyle that helped him live free from worry. The main thing for us is not to see what is vaguely far away, but what is clearly by our hand. 42 years later, on a mild spring evening, when tulips were blooming in the gardens, Sir William Osler spoke to the students at Yale University. He told his students that a man like himself, who had been a professor for 4 universities and had written a widely read amount of books,
We lost you, Ian.
we seem to have a little problem with on my side is showing very high internet.
Yeah, well, you're back now. Okay.
All right, so let me start from the paragraph so it makes sense. 42 years later, on a mild spring evening when tulips were blooming in the gardens, Sir William Osler spoke to his students at Yale University. He told his students that a man like himself, who had been a professor at 4 universities and had written a wide amount of books, was often assumed to have a brain of a special quality. He stated that this was inaccurate. He said that his closest friends knew that his brain was of the most mediocre nature. What then was the secret of his triumph? He stated that this was due to what he called living in watertight compartments. What did he mean by this? A few months before speaking at Yale, Sir William Osler had crossed the Atlantic in a large liner where the captain, standing in the bridge, could push a button and wham! There was a clatter of machinery on various parts of the ship. They were isolated from each other, isolated in watertight compartments, and Dr. Osler said to the students, "Now, each one of you is a much more organization than this big ship and makes a longer journey. What I ask of you is that you learn to operate the machinery that allows you to live in watertight compartments up to date as the best way to guarantee. Get on the bridge and check if at least the large bulkheads work well. Press the button and listen at all levels of your life. Do the doors of iron that close the past, the dead yesterdays. Press another button and close with a metal curtain, the future, the tomorrows that have not been born. So you will be safe, safe from today, safe for today. Close the past, bury the dead, close the yesterdays that have hastened the march of fools to a sad end, carrying tomorrow's burden today, together with yesterday's, makes up to the mightiest hesitate. Let's close the future as tightly as the past. The future that we should see is today. There is no tomorrow. The day of man's salvation is here. It's now. It's today. Waste of energy, mental and anguish and nervous derangements block the steps of the man who feels anxious about the future. So close tightly the bulkheads, forward and aft, and prepare to cultivate the habit of a life in watertight compartments up to date. Did Dr. Osler mean that we should not make an effort to prepare for the future? No, not at all. But he went on to say in that speech that the best way to prepare for tomorrow is to concentrate with all your intelligence and all your enthusiasm in doing today's work superbly today. This is the only way one can prepare for tomorrow, for the future. So my question to you is, are you here today? My plea to you is, let's be here now. Let's take the time to analyze what is happening in our environment. Let's not close our eyes or deny the truth that is apparent in front of us. Let us be agents of change in the present in order to have a future. But let us also take the time to smell the flowers and spend it with our loved one now, today. Let's give thanks to life and let's not forgive to live it. To remind everyone of how much we appreciate it, but without forgetting the most important person in your life, yourself. Let's be here today. Let's be here now, because being here now, living the moment, is the only thing that makes us who we truly are. Let's look at our surroundings. Let's look at what we have to appreciate, and let's live life to the fullest for today, for now, because this is the only way to actually guarantee our future and to show that we have actually learned from our past. Let us live the now. Let us be here now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. I don't know if you can hear the applause, but it's pretty strong here. We really appreciated your words. They kind of got, yeah, we're gonna be late. Kind of got a little bit technically challenged there for a few minutes, but it was a good talk, and we got probably 90% of it, and we thank you. And maybe you can turn your video back on. I think it'll be okay. Now we'll try. There we go. There's Ian. All right. Thank you so much, Ian. We appreciate it. Anyone? Bill has something he wants to talk about, so go ahead, Bill.
Hi, I really liked your analogy of the watertight compartments. Like a submarine has watertight compartments so that if there's a problem with the one part of the boat, the other part doesn't sink. And we do need to block off the past and close our eyes to the future and be here in the present. That's a thread that we hear in many, many different veins, many, many different writers. But thank you very much for that analogy. It was good.
Really was. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you.
Did anyone else have something they'd like to tell Ian? Here's Steve Barker.
Yeah, hi, Ann. I Ron and I belong to another organization. We have a saying in it that don't stand with one foot in yesterday and 1 foot in tomorrow and piss all over today. So there you go in a nutshell.
Thanks there, Steve.
Thanks for
And that's
that
what usually happens.
visualization. That's right. Yeah.
Ian, it's good to see you, and thank you so much, because I need reminded constantly to live in today. I don't a lot dwell in the past, but I'm always projecting what's coming in the future, and I need to quit doing that. I really do, and thank you for that reminder. And I'm like Bill, that that thought of the watertight compartment makes a lot of sense, because if you can protect today, it'll help you decide on what you're going to do tomorrow when it gets here, because tomorrow is going to be today, tomorrow.
If you let it leak
Right.
over from compartment to compartment, you'll sink.
Oh, that's what Bill said. If you let it leak over from compartment to compartment, the whole ship will sink.
Exactly, exactly. And it's, you can refer to this in various ways. I mean, with the analogy that was presented earlier this morning, with the planting of the three sisters, I mean, you will only reap tomorrow what you sow today.
So today,
So don't worry about tomorrow. Make sure that you are actually planting what you need today, so that tomorrow will automatically be there. And watertight compartments, we can refer it to Noah's Ark.
oh yeah.
You know, that was what was given to them, the issue to secure tomorrow, but not by telling them what to expect tomorrow, but to secure and be safe today.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank
You
you.
know,
It's great
yeah,
to see you again.
the only reality that there really is right now, today. This is the only moment that we are guaranteed. The past is gone and the future is not here yet. And if we spend all of our energy dwelling on the past or worrying or trying to manipulate the future, nothing gets done in today. And today is the only time that we can actually connect with ourselves. The only way that we can actually commune with our Creator is right now, because it's the only reality. And we need reminders of that often, and your reminder was welcome and well met. We appreciate it. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and sharing with us. We appreciate it. Okay, I guess I'm back on the screen. I have to check over there. We are going to observe our celebration of abundance. Bill's going to pass a basket here in the sanctuary. So if we'll hold over our hearts what we are going to tithe and repeat after me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive through infinity. I am prosperous. Thank you, Bill. And if you're not present here today, you can still send in a contribution to 2009 East 13th Street, Farmington, New Mexico, 87401. And we will receive it. It is a secure way to do it. Just make out a check and send it, and it will come right here to the church.
Our post office box is locked.
We have no more post office box, but Jerry looks at our box every day so that it doesn't lay around, and it'll be fine. Okay, so we don't like to dwell on money, although it does. We have to have it because we have expenses that we have to pay as a community. Anyway, okay, well, it's time for Margaret and Steve to perform again, and I will arrange the words up here for you. It's a song that we're all familiar with. I got peace like a river in the songbook. It is number 356. Thank you.
play the whole song through first.
Meaning all 4 verses.
No, just the
Just
first
the
verse.
first verse.
Yeah.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain in my soul. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got love like a mountain. I've got life like a fountain in my soul. In my soul, I've got peace like a river. I've got love like a mountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul, in my soul.
All right. Thank you so much. That was really good. We know that song really well. We're able to just go right along with it, and there we go. Now I got my voice back, so thank you. All right. Okay, the only announcements that I'm aware of is the fact that our potluck will not be next Sunday, but it will be the first Sunday in August, but will be the first Sunday in September, which is September 5th. And if you would please contact us, let us know what you want to bring, and if you're going to be here, how many people are going to show up for that day. We would appreciate it. It helps us to plan our business and make a much better event for everyone, the more information that we have. So we thank you very, very much. Okay, we have an announcement. Hoyle Osborne's in Aztec. Hoyle Osborne and other musicians will perform at 7 p.m. the second Friday of every month at the museum in Aztec. He and Jane Voss are scheduled in August. Now we're fortunate to have nationally known musicians as Hoyle and Jane living in our community. That's true. So our brother Hoyle and Jane will be performing at the Aztec Museum on the second Friday of every month at 7 p.m. And I think that's a free concert.
Just through October.
Just through October? Okay, yeah, they're not gonna do it in the middle of winter, I know that. I was on the board of that museum for 11 years. anyway, it's a great endeavor and it'll be a great concert. Anytime you get a chance to hear Jane and Hoyle perform is always a treat. So thank you very much. Does anyone have any other announcements that they'd like to make at this time? Yeah. Ian, I've never asked you before, but would you be good enough to give us a benediction prayer to carry us through the week?
Sure.
Just go ahead whenever you're ready.
Let's pray. Thank you. God, Christ, the eternal, absolute just, the worker of peace under your state present this cosmos. Peace, bring our work to your name and free. Thank you for the good night. Thank you for letting us shine in our minds and for your
Yeah, could you shut off your video because we're not getting your words.
Start for our own improvement.
No, we lost him altogether. If you could start over, Ian, we'd appreciate it because we couldn't hear you. You'll have to unmute.
Christ, God Almighty, eternal creator, absolute and just. Your workers of peace have met under your blue skies that represent the cosmos, and with deep spiritual gathering have dedicated our work to your name and glory. Thank you for the grand light of understanding, for letting it shine in our minds and purify our hearts, so that in a perfect environment of intellectuality and fraternity, we have surrendered to search our own road to improvement. Let it be said that our work here today has helped us to make us better citizens, better parents, better sons, better brothers, better persons, so that the world may know that we have been in our presence. Guide us and continue to protect us as you have done, and grant us our needs, not precisely our wants, but our needs. And we thank you in advance for considering all those needs that you have kindly provided for us. Thank you, O Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Ian. I'm glad we restarted you. You have a wonderful ending to the day and your message is well met. We thank you very much, Ian, for coming and being with us. And until we meet again, which will be next Sunday, hope that God blesses you and keeps you. We have a couple of meetings during the week. On Wednesday, we have Course in Miracles. Susan Barham facilitates that, and it's always a good event if you can show. Susan, did you have a word that you'd like to say?
Well, right now we're just working on special relationships, and I would have to say the discussion is always so much in depth and so helpful to each of us to live our lives in a more positive and loving way. And we'd love to have people show up.
Okay. Thank you very much, Susan. Also, on Thursday nights, we have a Power of Eight meeting where we get together and send out our love and our light and our intentions, good intentions for those people who are struggling physically, either with an injury or with a sickness, or maybe perhaps even having relationship problems. It doesn't matter. If you need love sent to you, if you will contact Margaret Cheesebro, that, or anybody, me or Jerry or anyone, we will get the word out, and we will actually, and that's our form of our prayer group. We meet together on Thursday evening at 6:30 local time, and we our list varies, but sometimes it's as many as 25, sometimes it's less than that. As people get what they need and they're able to heal, then they're transitioned off the list, and new people are added at the bottom. And we thank you very, very much, Margaret, for facilitating that, and I think it's been successful. It's something that we can do together on Zoom just as effectively as if we were together in the room. Because in the spirit world, in the real world, time and space don't exist. So I think what happens is that as we are able at the same time to multiply and add on to our prayers, that they are more effective. At least we think they are. So thank you, Margaret, for that. So if you can't, so there are other things that we have going on all the time, and we're always together. We're together in spirit as well as on Zoom and as well in person. So we're not just a Sunday morning fellowship. We are in each other's thoughts and prayers constantly, because we love each other. And that's why that's what this fellowship is all about. It's about the love that we can share between each other. So thank you very much. And thank you again for allowing us to be a part of your life. And we hope to see you soon. So God bless you and keep you until we meet again. Goodbye.